Surviving.
Very good. Surviving is good. Okay, inshallah, let's see. Okay. So most of us had a day off today, right?
What was the occasion?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह।
वालेकुम सलाम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातहू। कबीर भाई क्या हाल है?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, आप सुनाएं कैसे?
Sister Fazilat is here. Sister Nosheen, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Nosheen.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, doing well.
You had a day off today?
Yes, it was a
Okay.
family day. School was off.
I hope you're rested enough for tonight's lecture.
Yes.
All right, so maybe another minute or so and then we'll start.
Sure.
Okay, inshallah, we are going to start now. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम व रहमतुल्लाह।
Alhamdulillah, once again, with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are here and today we are going to look at verse number 11. So before we get into that, let's quickly look at, see if I can go. Okay, so come on. Okay, so recite Quran 11. Let's quickly do a review that what we were looking at last time. So last time we looked at A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Okay. This is the one we did last time. Fi qulubihim marad fazadahumullahu marada wa lahum azabun alimum bima kanu yakzibun.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa barakatuh, Sister Umayma. So, wa alaikum salam, Brother Abdul. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Sister Nusrat. Good to see you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so this was the last verse we looked at or we studied. And remember, from the context of the time and area, we are talking about the munafiqeen, that they had a disease in their heart and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increased that disease. And because of that, or because of the habit of constantly lying or trying to deceive other people, they will have a painful punishment. So the next verse today, the one we are going to talk about today, is going to be وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُصْلِحُونَ. So, and when it is said to them, do not spread corruption in the earth, They say only we are reformers. Right? So this is the rough translation for this. Inshallah, let's look at the meaning of these things in a more detail. So I have written it down. So what is our first step? That we identify if it's a harf, ism or fail. Okay. So what is wow? So this is a harf, right? And iza is the special kind of ism. It's known as ism zarf. When you say zarf, what is come to mind? Makan?
Two things, makan and zaman,
And zaman, right? Meaning time.
or place.
So iza, the translation for iza is when.
When? It's a time.
So you can see is like when. Iza kila is a verb, and lahum, the lam is harf jar, and hum, because of that, it's a pronoun. So it's a ism and it's majroor because of that, right? La is harf nahi. Is it la harf nahi, meaning negation or negation, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fi harf jar. Al ardi is again ism and it's majroor. Okay. So wow and iza, when kila, it is said lahum, to them, la, don't or do not, tufsidu, I forgot to write it down here. So tufsidu is the fail, spread corruption in the earth. So the translation is pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is everybody clear on that? That how we did this is harf and this is ism, like noun. This is verb, and jar, which is again a harf and a noun. And this is harf, and this is noun. Everybody understand that? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So one thing to pay attention to is iza is known as ism zarf, mustaqbil, like in the future. Bamani shart. You know what shart is?
Condition.
Condition.
Right? And the meaning in Urdu is jab, and English meaning is
When.
so. If we look at kila,
Abid, where did you see mustaqbil in Iza?
no, meaning like when it's said to them, they said it in the thing. But for example, don't worry about that for right now. Just focus that is ism zarf, okay?
Okay.
Amani shart, meaning sometime when this is used in a sentence, it creates the shart, and I'll talk about that in a second. So once we are done with the harf, ism, and fail classification, we are going to look at some of our verbs. So kila, the root words are what? Kaf, waw, lam, and it's bab nasara. What is it? Bab nasara. So mazi is qala, and mudare is yaqulu, and the masdar is qawlun. Now, remember last time we went over that it's supposed to be kawala, but it becomes qala because of the weak letters. Right? So I don't want to repeat that, but we have gone over this few times already. So it's supposed to be kawala because if it's nasara, then it's supposed to be kawala, but it is a weak letter, so it becomes qala and yakulu, and the masdar is qawlun. But the verb we are looking at is kila. What are we looking at? So I know that in the past we had hard time when we talk about majhul, but this is kila is the majhul of qala. What is kila? Is majhul. It's a passive voice, meaning when it's said to them, when it is said. Said it to who? Them. So majhul. I know you guys went really quiet. Do you understand what majhul is? What is active voice and passive voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is when you are talking about active voice, it's going to be qala.
Qala.
You want to say passive voice, it will become qila.
Qila.
Yeah.
Qala, he said it. Qila, said to them.
He said.
It is said to them.
It is said to him or said to them, depending on what
Who
is the, what are we talking about here? Plural, right? We are talking
Right.
about plural. So when it is said to them, lahum, to them, la tufsidu fil ard. Do not spread corruption in the earth. Okay. So when we are trying to analyze kila, the thing to know is mada, the root words are kaf, waw, lam, and is bab nasara. That means is nasara yansur, right? So qala yaqulu qawlun. Qawlun is the masdar. What is qawl? Qawl is the saying of somebody, right? To say something. And kila is a majhul, is a passive voice, meaning something is said to them or said to somebody. And then the next one is tafsidu or tufsidu.
Tufsid.
Is mudare. What kind of fi'l is it?
Muzare.
Mudare. Is it third person?
Third person
Second
plural.
person. What person?
Second person plural.
Second person
Plural.
plural. Male or female?
Male.
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 Okay. The actual word was tufsiduna. Actual word is,
Tufsiduna.
if you remember the 14 sigas, but tufsidu, because whenever there is a word la, it makes it akhaf. And now I don't want to go into that tangent because then you will guys, you have to remember that. We did like 4 or 5 sessions on the part where the mudare has 3 different modes. You remember the modes, high level? Modes of mudare. One of them is normal. One of them is light. And one of them is lightest.
Lightest.
So normal is normal. The light one is called khafif. And the other one is called akhaf. Lightest one is called akhaf. And what happens is, if you want to remember it, in those cases when certain letters comes before that verb, the noon drops.
So,
Okay.
Abid, can we take this as a general rule that whenever la comes, it should always be the noon will drop?
Well, according to the rule of mudare, yes, but I cannot give you like a universal rule. You have to understand the specific rule, right? So, but in the case of mudare, when there is la comes before this, it kind of drops the noon from the end. Okay. Any questions on this page, guys? Are we clear about kila?
Yes.
Do we know their mada and root letters? And now we are discussing the tufsidu. So what are the root letters? Fa, sin,
Sada.
fa, sin, dal. If I take bab nasara, then it will become fasada, yafsudu.
Yep.
It will become fasada, yafsudu. But we also have another family called babil if'al. What is it?
Yes.
The example is
Aslam.
yuslimu. So then because of that, it will become afsada yufsadan. And that means to spread corruption, to do mischief, to do mischief. Right? So Urdu में कहेंगे fasad फैलाना, fasad फैलाओ. So when you have la before the yufsiduna, meaning mat फैलाओ. So what is the la here? You remember the fi'l amr? What is fi'l amr? Do.
Do.
Fi'l amr is do. Fi'l nahi?
Don't.
Do not do. So what is here? If I say tufsidu, that means you spread corruption. Tufsidu mean you all spread corruption, or you all spread corruption. And if I say la tufsidu, all of you do not spread corruption. Is that clear? Okay. So when I take the second one, Babi Ifal, which is more in line with our verse here, because it's tufsidu, there is a dhamma on it. So you see, yufsidu, so there is a dhamma. What will be the second person? Tufsidu. And again, tell me, what was the actual thing? Tufsiduna.
Tufsidu.
Tufsiduna. Because of the la, it becomes akhaf. It becomes la tufsidu. Okay. So wa iza qila lahum la tufsidu fil ard. When it is said to them, do not spread corruption in the earth. What is their answer? Before we do that, I want to talk about earth. Okay, before I give you the answer, I need to explain to you. Over here, we said the word iza is a shart, a condition. Okay, so a high-level introduction is that a sentence can also be considered jumla shartiya, a conditional sentence. What is it considered?
Jumla shartiya.
Shartiya. So it has two parts. First part is the shart, which is the condition, and the second part is jawab shart or jaza, meaning answer to the condition or the reward or return. What does that mean? If I give an example, if you hit me, then I will hit you. So if is a condition,
Yeah.
there is a condition here. So in condition in Arabic known as shart. What is the jawab? What is the answer to that? What is the response?
Jawab shart.
Is then I will hit you back. Okay, or you can say I will hit you back.
Jawab return.
Jawab shart. Another name for jawab shart is jaza.
Jaza.
What is jaza?
Reward.
Reward.
Reward, right? Or return, right? Like what you have done. If you do a good thing, the jaza will be good. If you do bad thing, the jaza will be bad. Right? So in other words, I'm saying either you're gonna call it jawab shart or you're gonna call it jaza. So from the terminology perspective, if I say this is jumla shartiya, and by the way, the jumla are still only two kinds, jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya. Okay. If I'm calling it jumla shartiya, that doesn't mean there is a third category. I'm saying the description of that jumla is shartiya, there is a condition in it, but the actual is, if you look at this, if you hit me, is mudare, right? Is it mudare?
Yes.
Does it fail? Yes. This is also mudare, right? So it's still a combination of jumla failure and jumla failure. Jumla failure. Is that clear? That there is, when I'm saying is jumla shartiya, that doesn't mean there is a new kind of jumla. It is new in a sense that there is a condition and there is the answer to the condition. But the shart is a jumla failure and the jawab is jumla failure. Now, sometime it could happen that the shart is jumla ismiya and jawab shart is jumla failure. Or it could be jumla ismiya, jumla failure, jumla failure, jumla ismiya, jumla failure, jumla failure, jumla ismiya. So there is a matrix of situations when this thing can happen. Are you guys clear on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so where are, mashallah, there are 14 people, but I don't hear any comments. What's going on? Brother Altaf.
I'm here. I'm just writing.
Okay.
Having to take notes.
All right. Okay. So since this sentence is a shartiya because of the word iza, so now we are going to do the analysis of the verse in more detail. So wa iza qila lahum.
Brother, can you bring the previous page for a sec?
You mean this one?
No, yes, this one. Thank you, Jazakallah. Can you put a little bit up, downwards? Yeah,
Like this?
a little bit down.
Like this?
Thank you, Jazakallah.
Ya Allah.
Jazakallah, brother. I'm done.
Okay, so now let's look at more in the way we do the analysis. So wa is an, iza is the harf shart, ism zarf, right? This is where is the shart is coming. So qila is fail, yes.
Majhul.
Majhul, it is a fail, and lahum is jar majroor.
Hmm.
What do we say? What jar majroor is? Mutalik. You remember from our Thursday class we discussed mutalik in a lot of detail. Now, if we say mutalik, fail, because this is the fail, not a jumla ismiya. This is a jumla fail. So it will be mutalik fail and not mutalik khabar. Okay. What is la? Is known as la e nahi. What is known as la? La is known as la nahi. Tufsidu is fail plus file. What is the file here?
People.
Right?
You all.
And you all, right? So fil ardi, is it jar majroor?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it's jar majroor, is it also mutalik fail?
It's mutalik fail.
Right? So basically tufsidu fil ardi or la tufsidu fil ardi is jumla failiya. Can you guys see that?
Right.
Okay. Now, when you see a fail and a file and a mutalik fail, isn't that a recipe for a verbal sentence? Right.
Yeah.
Now, why am I saying naib file here? Who can tell me what naib file is?
Assistant.
Majhul. Because of majhul.
Majhul. Because of the majhul, what happens to the file in majhul is not known. Right? So what do we do in that case? We take the maf'ul and we say this is the naib file. You remember that lecture we did long time ago. So fail plus mutalik fail plus naib file is equal to verbal sentence. So this is the first part. This is the first shart. This jumla here is the shart. Do we need to find the jawab shart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So are you guys clear on this? How we got this fail? How we
Yeah.
got the fail? How we got the naib file? And how we did the fail file jar majroor, which is also mutalik fail. Okay. So verbal sentence, and this whole thing with all these combinations become the conditional sentence.
Sentence.
Which one is knife file over here? What is knife file here?
Maf'ul. Okay. So if you remember from the lecture of majhul, the reason we make a passive voice, in passive voice, the file is hidden. There is no file. The file is not known. That is why it is called a majhul. In that case, a verbal sentence cannot be complete without a file. So they take the maf'ul and they call it naib file. Is that clear? Brother Javed?
Yeah, I'm now more confused.
Okay, the reason you are confused is because probably you have forgotten that rule. So let me try to refresh your memory. In a jumla failiya, we have okay, jumla failiya, we have the fail, we have the file,
And the maf'ul.
we have the maf'ul, and we can also have a mutalik fail.
Right.
Okay, so when you are using an active voice, you will get fail, file, maf'ul, and mutalik fail, all of them. It could happen. But when you are using a majhul by definition, the file is not known, and that is the purpose of it. we don't want to talk with the Jumla says is said to them. We did not say who. Then the later part was lahum. So it was clear that said to somebody. Who was it said to? Them.
Them.
In that case, if there is no file known, the Jumla Failiya must have a file in it. So they call the maf'ul naib file, which means it's a substitute as a file. It's not
So
the
lahum is maf'ul.
Yes, say that again.
Lahum is maf'ul here. And is also called naib file.
No. Lahum is jar majroor, is mutallik fail.
Oh.
Okay, remember, whenever we talk about mutallik, it has to be a jar majroor or a special mudaf ilayh. Shibu jumla. Okay. Brother Javed, do you take notes at all?
No, not really.
Okay. Inshallah, we can take this offline if you need more help.
Okay.
But remember this, in a majhul fail, the file is not known. But you cannot have a jumla failure without a file. So in that situation, they take the maf'ul and they call it naib file because they technically cannot call it a file. Naib
So
file,
what word is naib file over here in this sentence?
this is our, okay, so if you look at this whole sentence here, jumla failure,
Oh, this is all naib file.
this is maf'ul bihi.
La tufsidu fil ardi.
So I can call it naib file.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Okay, good.
So Brother Abid, on the same page.
Yes, sir.
So can we say that the shart could be combination of many jumlas, more than
Yes.
one or more than one jumla?
This whole thing is one jumla basically. But yeah, as you can see, within
I-
the jumla,
two
there could be another jumla, right? So, right.
These like one is kila lahum, and the second jumla is tufsidu fil ard.
Yes, you're right. So within one long sentence, there could be,
One long sentence.
yes. So within a long sentence, there could be sub-sentences. And that's why we identify those as the different parts, right?
So my kind of point over here is that the shart, this is all is shart. So shart could be combination of one or multiple jumlas.
Inshallah, we're gonna have a separate lecture on shart. So maybe this Thursday we'll talk about it and then we'll have more information about that. So, but right now I can say, yes, you are on the right track, but we will have a specific lecture on shart and jawab. Okay. So this part, because of this word iza, and this whole thing is our shart. Yeah. This whole thing is our shart. Now the jawab is this. Qalu innama nahnu muslim. Okay, so qalu, isn't it fail plus file?
Yes.
And what is the zamir here?
Hum.
They say, okay, or they said innama. The word innama means only.
Only.
Okay, nahnu is the noun or as a pronoun, right?
We.
And muslihun is what? Is it, what status is this?
It's a khabar.
It's khabar, mashallah. So you can see that nahnu muslihun is mubtada and khabar. Since we are fresh on mubtada khabar, is nahnu zamir?
Yes, I believe so.
What candidate for mubtada?
Yes.
Good. Is it proper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it rafa?
Yes.
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 Male? Singular?
Yeah.
Not singular. Plural.
No singular. It's a plural.
Right? And this one, is it rafa?
Yeah.
First of all, is it common or proper?
It's a proper thing, this one.
Common.
No. Common, because it's not al.
Nakira.
It's nakira. But is it rafa?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Is it male?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's plural. Yeah.
Okay. So that is why this is our jumla ismiya. This part here, nahnu muslihun, is jumla ismiya. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Mr. Nusrat? Mr. Noshin, Sister Fazilat?
Yeah.
Yes, brother.
Okay, good. Because we are spending a lot of time on Jumla Ismiya, so right now this should come to you very clearly, right? So if qalu is fail plus file, right, and this is Jumla Ismiya, then I can take this whole thing as maf'ul bihi, and is it become my Jumla failure? Yeah.
Yes.
Fail plus file plus maf'ul bihi is Jumla failure. That's the jawab shart. Okay. That's the jawab. So when it's said to them, yeah. So what are they saying? When it's said to them that don't spread corruption in the earth, what is their response? They said,
Reform.
we are not. Basically, they're saying we are the reformers. We are only the reformers.
Brother, what is kalma misr or?
Isn't it certainly we are the reformers?
Kalma hasar.
Okay, thank you.
Kalma hasar is to emphasize. Now I'm going to be talking about it in a second. Let me take some questions on this page. So, Umema, you have a question?
How the Muslihun Rafa? Why would that word?
It's a good question. Why don't you tell me?
Sorry?
Why don't you tell me why Muslimun is Rafa?
I was thinking on it.
Okay, think about it. Let me refresh your memory. When we are looking for number and we are looking for status, how many groups I tell you that you'll have to look at?
4.
4.
4.
Do this.
Yeah.
Muslihun is what group? What is the first group?
Wahid Jama Mukassar.
Wahid Jama Mukassar. Brother Kabir, what is the second group? Do you have your notes with you?
Not right now, but I wrote it somewhere. I remember last time we discussed this. Yeah.
So what is the second group?
Second.
Musanna.
Second group is Musanna. What is the third group?
Jama Salim Muzakkar.
Jama Salim.
Jama Salim Muzakkar, yes.
Is this Muzakkar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, plural.
Yeah. So how do you tell the status of a Jama Salim Muzakkar?
By the end.
Ina una sound. Yeah.
By the sound.
Yes.
Una sound is Rafa, right?
Yeah. Una sound is Rafa and Nasab and Jar is.
Muslihina will be Nasab and Jar.
Yeah.
If you have to give me the Nasab and Jar, Muslihina. Muslihuna is Rafa. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's clear.
Okay, good. All right. So any questions on this page, guys? Any questions on this page? Brother Afzal, any questions on this page?
Brother, not right now, but I have to digest it.
Okay. So we need to talk about now this word innama. Okay. So in order to do that, look at this page. Who remembers inna wa akhawatuha? Have we talked about it in the past?
Yes.
Okay, good. One of the word for inna wa akhawatuha is inna. Right? And it is known as harf mushabba bil fail. Meaning this is the harf which resembles a verb. Okay. And what is innama? Is inna plus ma. That's why you get innama. Okay. You see innama here is inna ma. So I'm trying to explain to you what this innama is. Inna ma. And the name of this ma is kafa. What is it known as? Why kafa? Okay.
So brother Abid,
Yes, sir.
question here. If we separately kind of do the translation, inna is indeed and ma is not. Ma is the same as la, right?
Ma is also what?
What?
Ma is also what? Okay. So indeed what?
Indeed what? But the meaning of innama is only. Okay. So I'm going to tell you why. And for that, you have to let me finish this one and then we'll come back to it, inshallah. Okay. So if you remember this, Zaidun Salihun. What is Zaidun Salihun?
Zaid is righteous.
Zaid is righteous. So what kind of sentence is this? Jumla?
Ismiya.
Ismiya.
Yeah.
Okay. So Zaid is my mubtada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is Salihun my khabar?
Khabar, yes.
Okay. If you remember in Jumla Ismiya, if you are trying to create emphasis, what do? You add inna. You add inna in the beginning. So you say inna Zaidan Salihun. So what happened to Zaidan? What happened to Zaidun?
There's an emphasis.
Emphasis.
It becomes from Rafa to Nasab. You see what happened to the status of Zaidun?
Yes.
It was when it was a regular Jumla Ismiya, it was in the status of Rafa. But when Inna came, Inna has a lot of power and it doesn't like the Mubtada, it likes to take over. So what it does, it changes the Mubtada to Nasab. That is become Inna Zaidan Salihun. And it requires that Mubtada goes away forever and is known as Ismu Inna. What is it known as?
Ismu Inna.
And the khabar become Khabru Inna. So in other words, Mubtada is victim of Inna. So Inna is the boss. Inna says, when I come, I own the sentence. You guys cannot call me Mubtada or Khabar anymore. You have to call it Ismu Inna, is Khabru Inna. Now, how many times we have gone over this concept in the past? Lots of time. So this is not something new, by the way. We have done this in a lot of detail. So right now I'm trying to refresh your memory that whenever Inna comes, it takes over the sentence and it changes back into Ismu Inna, Khabru Inna. However, whenever if the ma comes after Inna, then it stops Inna from its effect. What is the purpose of ma here, Brother Lataf? So there is if you want to cancel, if you want to cancel the effect of Inna, you add ma to it. So what is Inna ma?
Certainly not.
Inna is only, the translation is only, is my kafa, and it is used to create hasar. Hasar means emphasis. So the translation becomes beshak tahqiq, which means indeed, no doubt. Indeed, tahqiq is indeed, beshak is no doubt. So if you look at here, if innama is here, why did I call it mubtada then? Think about it. Brother Altaf, I need your participation a little bit. So if there was only inna, right, guys?
Then it will
Ismu inna, right?
Inna.
And it should be khabru inna, right?
Yes.
But because we said if ma comes back with inna, then it cancels the effect. So mubtada becomes mubtada again.
Yeah.
Do you guys get this point?
Yes.
Sisters, Sister Umema, Sister Nusrat, Sister Fatilat.
So what I understand is that if we take the previous sentence, So if we put innama zaidun, so we keep zaidun
as mubtada. Yes, you're right. Then yes, innama zaidun will be, it will still be zaidun. Not because the inna is alone will make it to nasab. But if you could say innama, that will become innama zaidun salihun. Is that making sense?
Yeah, that explains.
Right. So now let's look at the salihun, the madda for that. The madda for salihun is sad, lam, and ha. And the babi if'al. So aslaha yuslihu islahan. Asdar is islahan. Okay. Aslaha yuslihu islahun. Ismul fa'il muslihun. Okay. What is the ismul fa'il for Islam? What is the ismul fa'il for Islam?
Muslimun.
So islahun, muslihun. The plural of muslihun, muslihuna. Jama salim muzakkar, rafa. Meaning islah karne wale, the reformers. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. So if we look at this jumla side by side, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, and there is a little la here, قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْلِحُونَ. The shart was this because of the iza, and the jawab shart was قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْلِحُونَ. Urdu mein, Sister Umayma, I'm just going to speak a little bit Urdu here and then I'll come back to the English. और जब इज़ा जब उनसे कहा जाता है कि ज़मीन में फसाद मत डालो, तो कहते हैं हम तो सिर्फ इस्लाह करने वाले हैं. इन्नमा सिर्फ, हम तो सिर्फ इस्लाह करने वाले हैं. So in English, when they are told, do not spread corruption in the land, they reply, we are only peacemakers or reformers. Why peacemakers? For that, I have an additional comment here. Let me read it out to you. So basically, we're talking about the munafiqeen, right? Munafiqeen. Munafi. Is it like that? Munafi? No.
Munafiqeen.
Something like that.
Yeah, this is right.
Okay. So we are talking about the munafiqeen, and they are the ones who are with the disease in their heart. And these are the people, they used to tell them, the believer, that we are with you, but inside their heart, they did not believe. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said they are trying to deceive Allah and His Messenger and the people who believe, but they're only deceiving themselves. So they have a disease in their heart, and because of that constant lying, I'm going to give them a painful punishment. So the next sentence was, when they were said, it was when it's said to them that do not create corruption in the land, they used to say, oh, we are not the one who's creating the corruption. We are trying to do the opposite. We are trying to be the reformers. So this is the summary. So when they were criticized for their close association with the pagans, who are the pagans? The mushrikeen Makkah. Pagans are what? Mushrikeen Makkah. Who were hostile to Muslims? Who were the worst enemies of the Muslim at that time? The pagans, the mushrikeen Makkah. So they would agree, or they would argue that they only wanted to make peace between Muslims and their enemies. So this is the summary of this verse. So when they were told that do not create corruption in the land, they used to say, you think we are the one who was corrupting? We are actually trying to make peace between you and them. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So,
but Brother Abid,
yes, sir.
Why why the Muslim instead of Muslihun, then that word was not coming. I understand the context, but just looking on the word,
Yeah.
if we keep translating as a reformer, I think it's just right.
Yes. So remember, I started using the new translation from this brother Khattab. Remember the new Quran I've been mentioning that he did a translation. So yes, you can use reformers here.
Because it's Musleh or Islah, the same words you're
right. Literally will be reformers.
Reform.
But as I said, because of this summary, he said they are trying to make peace, or they're trying to make a reformation between Muslims and their enemies. They're trying to create the reforms between the Muslims and the pagans. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So Alhamdulillah, this was pretty much the whole verse, or a whole, let's see if I can go back. Page number 2, 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Okay. If you look at my other screen, let's say we go to our, this one right here. Okay. So look at this one. So we go back to number 11. So وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And when it is said to them, do not spread corruption in the earth. And this letter waw is harf ataf. Iza is the ism zarf. You see that? Zarf zaman. Okay, zarf zaman mean it is talking about a time or place. It can be also a place, but not a literal place. Kila is the verb. Lahum is jar majroor, and because of jar majroor is the muta'alliq. Can you guys see that? Can everybody see that? Why is it muta'alliq? Anytime I say the word muta'alliq, if it's a jumla failure, what is it muta'alliq?
Fail.
Fail. And when is jumla ismiya, and if there is jar majroor, what is it? Muta'alliq?
Yes.
Muta'alliq khabar, right? Because in the jumla ismiya we have mubtada and khabar, and muta'alliq is about the khabar. And in the absence of the khabar, the muta'alliq khabar become the substitute khabar. Remember that. Okay, so la is nahi, the harf nahi. Tufsidu is fail and file. What is the file in here? You all. Antum. Right? Fil ardi, again jar majroor, and because of that it is also muta'alliq. So there is a small verbal sentence here, and then there is another fail plus muta'alliq, which makes another verbal sentence, and overall it will be considered shart, the part of the sentence which is shart. And in the second one, if you look at it,
Allahu Akbar.
So here, if you look at the second sentence, so either also iza, they put jawab shart here, that this is continuing from the previous verse or from the previous line. So qalu, qalu is verb and pronoun. What is the pronoun here? The whom. Innama, yeah, innama is the letter innama, which is the harf mushabbah will fail, and plus my kafa. He says kaf here. Nahnu muslihun. So this is mubtada and this is khabar. It's a nominal sentence, and it becomes maf'ul bihi for qalu. Yes, and then it becomes a verbal sentence, and that's the jawab shart. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Similarly, if you guys pay attention to this part right here, you guys always, yes. Anybody has a question? So if you remember this tool, this
So
is
brother Abid, on the previous one, rather than shart and jawab shart, is it question and answer kind of thing?
When there is a shart, there has to be a jawab shart.
So I'm saying the first part is a question. Why is qalu innama nanu muslihun, right? So this is And then the response is it question and answer, or it's a shart and jawab shart?
Not question.
Okay. You're taking the shart, jawab shart in a literal conditional sentence, right?
Mhm.
So yes, it's like when I give you the example that if you hit me, then I'll hit you back. That is like a proper conditional sentence, right?
Yeah.
Inshallah, when we come to this lecture on Thursday, I plan to cover this Jumla Shartiya by itself, and then we will get to know the little bit inside of how the shart and the jawab shart works, right? So
Thank
this
you.
was the first time it came in the verse, and I didn't want it to confuse everyone, so I just kept it high level, that if there is a shart, it has to have a second part as jawab shart. Same thing like when there is mudaf, there is mudaf ilayh. When there is mawsuf, there is sifa. When there is jar, there is majroor, right? Same idea. So when there is matuf, harfi ataf, there is matuf and then matuf ilay. Right? So when there is a shart, there has to be a jawab shart. And another name for jawab shart is jaza.
Yes,
Right? So if you get the overall picture, plus when they, you have to remember one more thing. Depending on the level of our understanding of the Arabic at this moment, we are still in very shallow waters, right? We do not go into a lot of details. If you do this translation or the tarkib, there are many other ways to do this, right? There are many other scholarly opinions about this, right? And in that, one of the opinion I read that it could be you say the sentence where you say, they say, we are the reformers, when it is said to them that you are the, do not spread corruption in the world, in the land. So there are a lot of other explanations, but inshallah, when we go read or study conditional sentence in a lot more detail, we will have a better understanding of this, inshallah. Okay, so here, I'm hoping that you guys, every one of you, take it seriously now that mashallah, you have put in more than a year's worth of your energy, your time, and valuable resources. So try to, restore this information, like save it as money. Like, if we have money, we don't throw away money. So we store it in the, the most secure place. Similarly, this knowledge, alhamdulillah, I'm sure that you can benefit, or we all benefit from it. So let's not keep it like a easy going. We just keep them tight. We hold tight to this. For that, use as many tools as possible. For example, it took me more than a couple of hours to write down all these things on a piece of paper. So imagine when I write down this verse 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, guess what's going to happen? Do I have to repeat it again? Say that again. Yeah, so it will go deep into my memory and I will have a deep understanding of it. So the least I can expect from you is all the tools I have shown you. For example, this tool, if you go and look at this, and it doesn't take long. For example, here is the verse. وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَهُمْ لَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ مُسْلِمُونَ. So any which word which is like a fail, like say when you click on Qila, it will tell you how to understand it. So Qila is also from Bab Nasara, and it's also from Bab Tafa'ul. Okay, so if we are dealing with Bab Nasara, so becomes Qala, Yakulu. How will you say the Amr? Kul. Okay, Kul. La takul. Don't say. Kul, say. Kulu, you all say. La takulu, you all don't say. You see, la takulu is like same thing like la tufsidu.
Yeah.
You understand? When I said it's fele nahi, maybe you did not remember it because you don't remember that. But when I say fele amr is a command, fele nahi is a do not, like stop, don't do it. So la takulu mean all of you don't say. Then the word qail is the file. Maqul is the one which is said, and qaul is the masdar which is to say. So similarly, muslih was the file. What was the plural of that? Muslihuna. Is that clear? So this tool, as I said, it can really benefit if we just spend some time on it. So, and this is the chart, it's called Sarf-e Saghir. So the ilmu sarf is coming from here. So this qala is madi, yakulu is mudare, amr is kul, ismul fa'il is qailun. जब आप उर्दू में किसी को कहते हैं मैंने उसे कायल कर लिया, कहते हैं कि नहीं कहते हैं? कायल, कायलुन. मकूलुन, कि किसी का मकूला है ये, somebody said it. Qawl is to say, the word. Qawwal is the ism mubalagha, when there is a exaggeration in this. So if I say what is the ism mubalagha of qala yaqulu, you're going to say qawwalun.
Qawwalun.
Right? And but when we are dealing with the tafa'ul family, is going to be taqawwala, yatawakkal, yatakawwalu, taqawwal, mutakawwil, mutakawwal, and takawwulan, takawwala, takawwula. Right? So see, look at here in Surah Tur, the same root letters have come in this. Takawwala, takawwalu, takawwalahu. I can't even say it. Brother Abrar, I need your help. My tongue is not. Takawwalu.
No,
right?
takawwalahu.
Right? So here it says, you know, क्या वो कहते हैं कि उसने इस कुरान को घड़ लिया है? नहीं, बल्कि वो ईमान नहीं लाते. नहीं here is the bal. You know, bal is the balke and la is the nahi here, right? So it gives you more information. Let's say, let's look at muslihuna. Brother Abrar, are you still there? Okay, so muslihuna, let's look at that. Muslihuna is from Bab Fataha and also from Bab Ifal. Okay, if we looked at Bab Fataha, is Salaha, Yaslahu, Islah, Salihun. You know Salihun, right?
Right, yes.
Salihun is the Ismul Fa'il, but it is from the family of Bab Fataha. But the one we are looking for is Muslihuna, which is from the Bab If'al. Aslama yuslimu, aslaha yuslihu, aslih muslihun, muslahun, islahun. So what is our ismul fa'il? Muslahun. So if you look at that, it doesn't have this, but look at this again. La tuslimu, la tufsidu, tufsidu, or afsidu, la tufsidu. Aslim, la tuslim. Okay, we need to know this chart high level, that inshallah we need to know aslama for madi, yuslimu for mudare, aslamu, yuslimuna, tuslimuna. Remember when I was saying that it was tufsiduna? Maybe you did not get the picture, right? So when it becomes amr, what happens? The noon drops, right? Tuslimuna, la tuslimu. Do you see the noon is dropped?
So this becomes an amar. Tuslimu is amar.
La tuslimuna. La tuslimuna is not amar.
Not amar. Is la tuslimu.
La tuslimu is the nahi. Do
Is
not
it
do.
nahi amar? Like after what you call it, amar nahi?
Amar is to do and nahi is to don't do.
Okay.
Right? So that is the distinction. Amar, when you give a command to somebody or a request, that is you're saying do it. And when you're saying it's the don't command, let's put it this way. It is the do not do command.
But that is like more look like a command. La tuslimu.
Yeah, it is amr
Yeah,
nahi.
that is a command, but it's called fele nahi.
Yeah.
It is a do not do command. Not
No.
the, amar is the amar is the positive and la is the negative.
Okay, I get it now.
Amr positive, nahi.
Nahi is the negative. Amar is the do, nahi is the don't.
Means taslimu is the positive.
No, negative.
Aslimu is positive.
Taslim positive, right?
Yeah.
Positive
Taslim.
is aslim, farma
Aslim.
And
bardari karo.
taslim. And taslimu.
La taslim is negative.
La tuslimu is the
Aslim.
Not
negative.
la taslimu. The yellow one, it said taslim.
Oh, tuslimu. That is
Taslimu, yeah.
not an amr. That is the second person
Positive
fi'l
one.
mudari.
Yeah.
You submit or you will submit.
Oh, because the okay.
Okay. See, amr is on this purple section, and this is just the 14 different sigas, but this one is only 7 because this course was for limited purpose. Anyways, so again,
What book is this, by the way, Brother Abid?
this is not a book, brother, sister Nusrat. You can write down this, or I can send you this link right now.
Sure.
Because this link is what I've been sharing with you guys. When you go, you will open this. Let's see if I can go.
If you can send me the, usually I cannot open on my WhatsApp, I can open on my computer. If you can send me just the link, then I can open.
I just send it to you to the group. So
Okay,
here,
great. Jazakallah.
what you, and look on the side here, if you haven't paid attention, see the
Yeah.
red ones are the fail. The
Yeah.
blue ones are the nouns. The green ones are the file. The purple one are the maf'ul. And then these maroon one is hal.
Yeah.
Hal, you remember hal?
Status.
Status.
Yes. Hal is when I say Zaid came laughing. So the hal of Zaid was he came laughing. So tunzirhum, they're watching. That's their hal. Tunzir.
Yeah.
Okay, tamiz is something else. It's not our tamiz. The Urdu में जिसे कहते हैं तमीज करो. ये वो चीज नहीं है. ये कुछ और है. We'll talk
Tertib
about
hai? Is this a
tamiz.
tertib?
No, we'll talk about tamiz. Zarf is the mention of time and place.
Okay.
Taqid is emphasis. Okay.
Yeah.
And zamir shan, I don't know what that is, but ism fail is masdar. Okay.
Zamir Shan is like more like, you know, the Jalalahu kind of thing.
Okay. So look at these are Urdu में सारी different definition दी हुई है इसके अंदर. ठीक है.
Zamir Shan. Can you scroll down? I want to see Zamir Shan. वो
ज़मीर शान है. वो ज़मीर जो जुमले के शुरू में आती है और किसी की तरफ नहीं लौटती और इसके बाद वाला जुमला इस ज़मीर की गर्ज को बयान करता है. So you need to study that inshallah. Okay. So anyways, this is a very good tool, mashallah, and the people who have made it, they have spent a lot of time on it. So basically what you do, you pick your surah and you pick your verse from here, right? This is the page number, by the way. So when you go like this, and then now it's Surah Al-Imran, and you can look at these, Allah, Ilaha. So if you click on Al-Hayy, let's say if you click on it, it will give you all the details about it. See? Hay, ha, ya, ya. Hayya, 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 yah, 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 yah. So very hard for me to say, but is masdar is hayat. So hayat is coming from these root letters. Come on.
What happened? Okay.
See? So this is how you can increase your vocabulary. And these words are coming in the Quran. These are nothing out of the context. They're all in the Quran. Okay. So it's from the family of Fataha and also from the family of Istifal and Tafil and Ifal, mashallah. Say that again.
Too many families.
Yeah.
It's very confusing sometimes.
There are 14 altogether. 6 of them are the easy ones, the one we know, the Bab Nasara, Bab Fataha, Bab Samiya, Bab Hasiba, Bab Dariba, and Bab Karuma. Those are the Thalasi Mujarrad. Out of that, there are 8 Mazid ones, which are these If'al, Taf'il, Fa'ala, Ifa, Mufa'ala. These are the different ones. We never studied it, but again, if you do look at it, you will find out where the different words are coming from. So, ihya'un, okay, tahiyyatun. You know what tahiyya is, right? So this word is coming from Bab Tafil, okay? And look at it, istihya'un. And look at this, la yastahi. So these, all these words are coming from different families, because if these families do not exist, we will not have many words in the dictionary. Okay. Jazakallah khairan. I think I took longer than expected, but I hope and I feel that we benefited from this. And on top of that, maybe this will help us, that maybe these verses are in our memory now. Are you, how many? 11. So maybe you can pray 2 rakah out of these 11.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Are we still doing any memorization?
Brother Abid,
Ji, sir.
can you just display that Ayat al-Kursi's pronunciation and you know, Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum.
Where?
Just before that, there was one.
Okay, so you want me to go right here?
Even one before. Okay.
So this is not the Ayat al-Kursi. This is Surah Al-Imran.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was confused on something, and okay, that's fine, because in Ayat al-Kursi, La ilaha illa hu al-hayyul qayyum, and I was saying it's hu al-hayyul qayyum. So there is some.
You never ever say al-hayyul qayyum.
Yeah, I know, but it's written like that, you know.
No.
It's huwal, because there is hamdatul wasl here, right?
Yeah, you know, you say Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, but when it's written al-hayyul qayyum, huwa, and then al-hayyul qayyum.
Yeah, but it's alif, you don't read it.
Yeah.
You always
Allah la ilaha illa huwa
The
al-hayyul.
sukoon is on top. The la is silent.
Alif is silent over here.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's true. But this over here it is silent, but I'm saying in Ayat al-Kursi it's silent as well. But Allah has got what I should say.
If you read like this,
yeah,
just by itself is gonna be il-hay, not al-hay. It will be il-hay. Because you have to remember the rule. The haraka on the ayn letter is fatha.
Yeah.
So the hamdatul wasl will always have kasra.
No, it's fatha for lam.
For what? For lam is a fatha?
It's the exceptional case. Yeah, this is the exceptional
Okay,
case,
this
and
is
for lam, we always have fatha.
Okay, very good. So
Yeah,
this
but
is
then it has a
exception.
sukoon. We are not reading the la because the huwa has a fatha and then it's fatha.
Yeah, yes, right.
Yeah, if you're continuing, then huwal. Otherwise, it's al.
Al-hay.
Yes.
So this is the discussion is here, Sister Nusrat. Brother Afzal is saying that if I read huwal hay, including the huwa, then I don't pronounce the al, or I say huwal hay. Huwal. Is it huwal hay?
Always, yes.
Illa huwal.
Huwal hayyul qayyum. Huwal hayyul
qayyum. Yes.
But if you just have to say al hay by itself, then you will pronounce the al, right?
But then I think we pronounce light. If brother says like, you know, if we only do al hayyu, that's why he want to mention. But then the sukoon, that's why we will just skip the pronunciation. There's more like lighter say al hayyu.
What was your point? What were you trying to say?
Brother, I was simply trying to say that when it's written, not spoken, when we all recite Surah Ayat al-Kursi, we say Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. But if you see it where it's written, it says huwa, and then there is a little spoon, and it's written al-hayyul qayyum. But basically, wow and Allah, they become together when you are reciting it.
It's not alif, it's a hamdatul wasl.
No, I think this sentence is written exactly the same in Arabic. I don't know why we are confused about it.
Anyways, guys,
I'm not confused, but Jazakallah khair. I think there are
Abdul is talking about the Ayat al-Kursi, not this one.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ayat al-Kursi. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, no worries, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa
Wa alaikum
barakatuh.
assalam.
Jazakallah, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. तो पॉइंट पे क्लियर हो गया आयत अल कुर्सी वाला पॉइंट पे